Ew. I think my chickens and ducks wanted to get in on that one. They're in the back. So thank you all. Thank you all for being here. And yes, I think we're ready to get started, right, Amanda?
We are. Thank you, Grizz. That was so beautiful, so relaxing. And I feel ready to just unpack and explore all of this amazing stuff that we've been working on.
Me too.
Awesome. Well, yeah, this is the Microdosing Moms Mentorship. What is Sacred Microdosing webinar? Welcome. My name is Amanda Hayes. I have been running the Microdosing Moms Facebook group for a little over a year now. And in the behind the scenes action, Grizz and I have been working very, very hard to create one of the most supportive and just tip to tail transformational shift program that there is right now around the microdosing experience. So, super excited to get into that a little more and share it with you because we put all of our love and our soul into this for you. So, welcome. Yeah, the Sacred Microdose Moms Mentorship. In this mentorship, we're learning and exploring tools to help you stay centered. Many of us are dealing with a lot of anxiety in our lives from various sources, from our families to life, world events, microdosing, and this program can absolutely help you work through that and heal from that. Same thing with depression, helping work through and heal. It's another layer of support for you. It's also a tool to be more calm, more patient, more present in your life. Who doesn't want more of that? I know I've been so thankful for this practice and for microdosing to help me do that. And all of that to say it's naturally, it's without medication. And those of you on medication, there's certainly nothing wrong with it, no shame around that. But I'm thankful that I have personally been able to um, get off all medications and just do this in a natural way. So, yeah, we are super excited to share this with you. Yeah, Grizz.
I'm I'm excited to talk about the next slide because I know you have uh, you know your take on this, who this is for, but uh, as it relates to moms, and I really think this is perfect for the mom that wants to connect deeper with nature at the core. And I've found that in my heart, I feel like we are nature. And so at the core, if we can come back to the core of what we are, being love and nature, everything else seems to kind of take care of itself with guidance from Amanda in this amazing, masterfully crafted program. And so, this is something for those people that as a kid, you were extremely connected to nature, animals, trees, walking through the creeks and the forest, and you've kind of lost that connection. You lost that playfulness that you had as a kid, kind of that innocence. And this program is going to help you tap back into that and wake that back up. And so that's why I'm so specific with who this is for, because this program is going to get the best results for that kind of mom. And that's how I feel about, who this is for. And I know Amanda has, some other things as it relates, to the mom life. And so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The connection with nature is huge, right? We are manifestations of nature. We're not separate from nature. So this program, this mentorship really does tie us in a very holistic way to be a part of this whole, right? A manifestation of the whole. And with that, it's really looking at how our lives unfold every day, right? I am a mom myself. I'll get into that a little more later, more about me. However, if you are busy, if you're a busy mom, whether you're actively raising your kids right now, or maybe they're a little bit older and you're busy with them in a different way, if you're a busy mom, maybe you're working, you've got the kids, there's a lot going on. You have a lot of responsibility and a lot of pouring of love out into your family, into the world. And it can be easy to find yourself kind of separated from this sense, this authentic sense of who you are, right? The truth of who you are in this world, and the power and importance that your role has in our global experience. And from a healing perspective, this is for moms and women who believe that you can heal from the inside out, that you can do this in a natural way. And again, that is not to discount any other supports you may be using, because there is absolutely a place for that, and they are sometimes very necessary. I've benefited from them myself. However, this is a different approach, right? This is something you can either replace or add to, or, consult with your medical doctor to talk about where this might fit best for you. However, the idea is that really we have the power to heal ourselves. Our souls know how to heal themselves, and we just need to cultivate the conditions in order to allow that natural unfolding to occur. And that is what this program is all about, to give you tools to be able to create the conditions for your soul to do the healing.
Yeah, that's great. And I also just want to jump in for everyone that's on here. If you have questions, we will, try to save those for the end, because oftentimes we'll answer those questions. But if anything comes up for you, and you want something answered, feel free to just type it in the chat, and we'll see that. So, but yeah, we'll have Q&A at the end of this call. And also we want to point out that for everyone that stays for the end until the end of the call, we have a special bonus for all those loyal listeners. So stay to the end. We have an awesome offer, special bonus for you. So we're excited to share that as well. So who this is not for. So this is, just think about the opposite of what we just said, right? This is not for people that don't believe in miracles. This is not for people that don't believe that magic is real. And so it's kind of, tapping back into that kid inside of you. And I, as a kid, had so many magical things happen to me because my heart was so open and my mind was so open to anything is possible. And so if you don't think anything is possible, this is not going to be the program for you. And so uh, that's what I have to say about this slide for me.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add to that. So, two things. First, with the magical stuff, um, I've always been a free spirit. And then life and college and career and kids, I just really moved into that more type A area of the brain. And so very pragmatic, right? Very much like planning from A to Z and not leaving any variables out. And so there just wasn't a whole lot of room for that magic in my life. And it wasn't until I started microdosing and started creating this healing practice that I share with you in this program that I really started to experience that magic again, right? It opened me to that intuition and really opened me to those higher frequency levels in order to then begin to experience some of these things that I had experienced as a kid, right? That freedom, um, that free spiritedness.
Yeah.
And the second thing is about the mindset, the power of mindset. My background is in education, and growth mindset by who Carol Dweck created that whole paradigm is so powerful. We've seen it time and time again in kids and how they learn, and also in adults. So I've taken that growth mindset idea, where the power of our mindset to influence our lives and our outcomes, and put them into this program, into a daily practice. So again, yes, mindset is powerful. So that is absolutely a requirement, that you believe that your mindset does make a difference in your life.
Yeah, and I'll add too, the mycelium network. I have a very strong connection to that energy, to the mushrooms. And if you believe in the power of mushrooms and the mycelium network, then you believe also that we are stronger together and coming together as a community, much like the mycelium network, sharing resources, sharing knowledge, transfer of knowledge and resources to make each other stronger in this forest of life, Earth, Mother Earth. And so, yeah, I wanted to share that. And also, if you can type into the comments, I know we mentioned questions. If you're on this live, I have just some interaction for you, and I would love to hear and think about the absolute best possible result for your life. If you could imagine that right now, if you can just summarize that and type that in, what would that look like? What would it look like, the best result that you could get for your life? And say, for this program, if you were to take this program and after it's done, look back, what would have to happen for you to be like, oh my gosh, this was the best, this is the best possible result for my life? What would that look like? We're really curious. That highest version of yourself. Paint that scene for us. And this is a little bit of the work that we'll be getting into, this prompting and visualizing and creating these neural pathways, these new neural pathways. And through, we'll talk more about it, but the special blend that we have for you is not just the psilocybin. There are other mushrooms that are going to be helping in not only your spiritual growth, your mind, but actually physically helping regrow neural pathways to make it easier for you to prosper through this program. So I think we had some comments too. So thank you for sharing. And again, just to kind of, for those people that are still typing, what would you be doing? Where would you be living? What would you be eating? What would you be putting into your vessel?
Yeah, I love that, Sue. Happiness. Absolutely. Just like this joy, this feeling of joy, right? And contentment, that spiritual fulfillment, right? And safety. Oh, man. I have a background in trauma certification, and safety is paramount to growth. You have to have safety for growth. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Sue.
Yeah, I saw one come in. Yeah. Land and animals. Well, that's part of, we'll be talking about the vision as well, but this life is so magical and beautiful. At every turn, just there's new opportunities, and it's so beautiful how things are coming together for our whole community. So we're super excited.
Yep. And I saw chickens in there. Grizz, you know a thing or two about chickens, don't you? Fantastic. All right. Well, let's thank you everybody for sharing. It's just so wonderful to see what your dreams are and see where you're heading, and hold the space for you to hold that vision for yourself. It's an honor and a blessing and a privilege. And with that being said, you are in a sacred space right now. You are in a space that is on your journey. So, really, your journey began the moment that you decided to consider magic mushrooms, psilocybin as a tool for your healing. And on that journey, whatever brought you to this webinar today, whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching it later as a recording, this is part of your path where you are right now today with us. This is part of your journey to becoming more aligned with the truth of who you are, right? With that happiness and contentment. And so, wherever you are right now, I encourage you to just practice openness and honor your place on this journey and where you are right now today, because you have required a lot of strength and a lot of experiences to get you exactly where you are, to be able to then look ahead and have the power of choice with where you want to go, to feel empowered to choose the way you want your life to be a creator. And I hope that you'll create with us. And
Yeah.
so, with that, if you don't have a pen and paper, grab it, light a candle. Grizz, did you want to add anything?
Now that just the crows and the birds are just like so excited. I've never, well, I've not never heard them like this, but there's certain times when they get really vocal and it's like pay attention. So uh yeah. But yeah, the sacred space is open. It started like she said, and it's going to continue. It continued with these what I call pillars, these anchor points, the music, the intro with the guitar, and this is there's a method to everything we're doing, and that's why it's so important to have a trusted guide that's doing it, that's doing the work, that can share almost like a blueprint for you to tap into. So
One of the big drivers for why we're doing this, and I speak for me, and Grizz will speak for himself, I have had the blessing to experience the power of doing the medicine with the right work. That partnership is magic. The magic isn't just in the psilocybin, it isn't just in the mushrooms. It comes when it blends, when there's a synergy between that and what you are bringing to your healing practice. So, having experienced the power of doing the medicine the right way, I see a need, because I see so much out there of this medicine being misused, misrepresented, and just really being commoditized in a way that doesn't honor the power and the sacred potential and possibility that this pathway has. So, having seen so many moms struggle, even after they've found some source somewhere, right? Seeing how they've struggled and realizing that, we have something that can help. We have something that really can make a difference in your life, in the community, and hopefully in the world, with this movement of, doing the work that works with this medicine. And so that's really a huge driver of why we're here, to have and offer a program that's filled with love, that's filled with support, and it's personalized, and it's by people that truly care about your healing, your why, and to help you access this deeper part of yourself.
yeah, that's just to add to that. The reason I started in this space was for community. It's because I felt like when we come together, we're so much stronger. And I got into the space doing larger dose ceremonial doses, and that's why I do this. My heart just pulls me to nature, and at my core, like I said, I am nature, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. And so having a community where we're sharing and growing together, a few of you mentioned land and chickens. That's the vision. That's why I'm doing this, is to help us heal and to get stronger together. And I've seen it where opportunities and doors just open so much faster, just like Amanda and I. Us coming together. There's no way I could do this on my own. I mean, I'm sure I could. And it's just like with this program. You could do it on your own, but it's going to take a lot longer and there's going to be a lot more struggle. And this is a beautiful, perfect example of coming together like Amanda and I, where, oh, it's just flowed so much easier. So that's why I do it.
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely, Chris. Our meeting and working together is a perfect example of this mycelium network in action, and I am thankful every day. So, just to imagine for a minute what your life would look like, what it would feel like if you were able to lower your stress, right? Lower maybe your reactivity to triggers, help reduce the level of anxiety you feel or even depression by just following our microdosing protocols, by just taking our program and following it step by step. And it led you to this space, right, where you're able to feel less burdened, less weighed down, less stuck, less suffocated, right? You're able to get to this space of freedom. And, working with industry experts, Grizz and I are both experts in our various ways. We're both very familiar with the medicine and we want to share it. We want to share the love and the growth and the healing with you. And then on top of that, being in a community of other women, of other moms that are of similar mindset. It's like you have instant connection. I know one of the biggest, most amazing benefits of the microdosing for me has been the community. And not even just people who are also microdosing, but the microdosing has opened me up in a way where I have made such deep and enriching connections with other people that I maybe wouldn't have even noticed or been receptive to before.
Yeah, I'm excited about this next slide because I'm not going to lie, and that's one thing with me. And I get in trouble with my wife because I'm so like I say what's on my mind, right? And I'm transparent but I don't wake up every single day in full joy, okay? But a lot of days I do. And the reason I point that out is because of the contrast. My days are so much better when I'm in alignment, I'm doing the work and I wake up in just full joy. It doesn't really matter what is going on around me. When I wake up like that, I'm not as triggered versus the days where, maybe I'm waking up not in full joy. That whole day is just a little off. And so we asked you this question, and this is attributed to the medicine. What if you woke up consistently more days, the majority of the days waking up in full joy and spending the whole day in full joy without having to rely on the pharmaceuticals? How would that feel? And again, I'm curious. I have an idea what you're going to say, but I'd love to hear in the comments if you're watching this live or even on replay. How does that feel when you hear that? What does that do to you? What does that do in your body and your mind when you think about that? And so, yeah, in the next 30 minutes, we talked a lot. I think you have an idea of what sacred microdosing is, but we're going to get a little deeper into that. We kind of set this up for that. We're going to talk about how to start microdosing and where can you get mushrooms? Where can you get them legally, right? Trusted sources. We're going to get into all of that. We've heard a lot about how much is a microdose, how often, we're going to get into all that. And especially in the mentorship, the program, we're going to hold your hand through that. And so this is going to be a really quick version of you know, microdosing. Amanda is extremely excited to share a little bit about her journal. And then we'll talk a little about who should not microdose. We already talked a little about who this program's not for, but we'll get into who shouldn't actually be taking the medicine and really what makes our program, if you can't already feel it, we'll get into a little deeper what makes this different from every single program out there, whether they're selling mushrooms or they're selling a mentorship program with the mushrooms.
Yeah, and as Grizz mentioned just a few minutes ago, why stick around? So at the end, we do have a special offer that is going to be good for anyone who's watching this, either in the immediate future or today, especially the live attendees today. So hang on, it'll be especially helpful for moms who just don't know where to get started.
Hold on tight. That's what they say down in Brazil, the tribes.
Hold on tight. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, as I mentioned before, my name is Amanda, and my background is in education. I have been an educator and a coach for over a decade. I taught at a university and specialized in, well, a lot of things, but I really got passionate around helping people overcome adversity to achieve their lifelong goal of getting a college degree. I worked with a lot of moms, thousands of moms, probably over the course of a decade, helping them achieve their life's biggest dream, even overcoming things that they maybe didn't think they could overcome at times, helping them hold that space for themselves. And around that, I did so much work with productivity and time management and motivation and even the bigger container of spiritual motivation, right? The why are you doing this, and how to create your life to support moving in these big directions. That was my passion. And I left the university 2 years ago, almost exactly 2 years ago, to do this full time, to work with people full time, take advantage of this medicine because I have benefited so profoundly from it. My life has changed. The depth of contentment I feel in my life, the fulfillment, the joy, the connection with my kids has changed so deeply, and I wanted to share that with other people. I'm so passionate about it, to help others realize their own biggest life goals, whatever that may be, right? No longer just around education. This is around the bigger stuff of life. And I'm a mom as well. Obviously, there's my 3 daughters. I've got an older one, and then I've got twins, and they are beautiful and strong and lovely and wonderful. And around raising them, I've also been practicing this self-healing. I went off all medications in 2022 to microdose, to just do microdosing. And I have, mental health diagnoses that I was working through, and I have been. It is a part of my healing journey, right? It is a tool that I use to really practice on a daily basis my own healing, to put that as a priority and to move throughout this world honoring my own journey in a very active and sacred way. And around that, I'm extremely passionate about safe and therapeutic psychedelic use. I do a lot of work in my town, in Phoenix, where I live, to educate and to really build awareness and normalization around safe access to this medicine. because I don't want people to have a bad experience or to be harmed by it. And so I am so passionate about the safety around using this as a therapeutic tool. And I 100% believe that we are all capable of healing ourselves. It's similar to that growth mindset. I applied growth mindset principles to the healing journey. We are all capable of creating the conditions that our soul needs to heal. And over the last 2 years, I've created a whole framework. I've created the Ahamo Core integration framework, which is part of my business. And that is a way to organize the healing approach. I've created this concept of consciousness and frequencies. Well, I wouldn't say created, it's inspired by a lot of different work that has been around for a long time, but I've really put it together in a way that translates so perfectly to the microdosing or the psychedelic journey for healing. It is the work that works, and I'm passionate about it, and I'm so excited to share it with you in this program.
So, a little about me. I will pause if anyone has any questions. I will open that up if anything is coming to anyone or you have a question you don't want to forget about. Feel free to type that in, even if you're on replay. If you have some questions that came up for this first half, go ahead and type them in. And I'll be quick. I'll do a standalone post in the Facebook group. So if you're not part of the Facebook group, make sure you join that. And but yeah, so I've been in this space for quite some time. I guess 2017, really got deep into the ceremonial space. Again, I won't get into how everything happened, but I was blessed by my teacher. He is a medicine man out of Peru, and he blessed me to run these mushroom ceremonies. And so I've led full 20 plus participant type ceremonies with mushrooms. I've led over 200 small private ceremonies and a little over 22 of the big ones with a larger amount of participants. So I've been doing a lot of this work, a lot of experience over, the past 6, 7 years. And I've pushed it away so much. I've had so many things come up, just like I'm sure even with this call, some of you, it wasn't the perfect time, right? It could be easy just to say no. And I call these gateways that the medicine puts in front of us to see who really wants it. And so there's so many times where I just was like, I have to just totally surrender. I've said no. I don't feel like maybe this medicine path is for me. And then it comes right back to me. And so that's how I feel like I'm in the right space. I've been called to this space. This is not something that I chose and thought was cool to do. And hey, I want to be this medicine man and lead ceremonies and connect with these tribes and run ayahuasca ceremonies. I'm not even a musician, right? I was an athlete, you know, uh, went to college on a scholarship for athlete, did not know how to sing, play music, and here I am. And so it just feels good to be what I would say home. And we work with a lot of moms. I've been with my wife over 20 years. She's a big part of what we do. So is my daughter, as you can see in the picture. And so it's a family affair for us. It's a a calling that's very deep into what I would say my DNA and my lineage. And this lineage runs through Kentucky. It runs through Amanda. It goes down to the rainforest.
Oh, Grizz, you got yourself mute. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
It had a call come in. So it runs through the Native Americans here that you all are connected to through your DNA as well. And so uh, it it's just great to, like I said, feel like I'm home, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So
Yeah, thanks, Chris. That is beautiful. I love that idea of feeling like you're home. I feel very much a similar energy, and just having that deep level of contentment feels like, you just kind of know when you're in the right place at the right time. But right now, if you're watching this, some of this might sound more familiar to you. Maybe you feel like you're easily triggered, right? Your nervous system gets activated. You're angry, tired, bored, frustrated, maybe more than you'd like to be. Certainly not all the time. No one lives that way all the time. But maybe it does happen more often than you want to be. Or maybe you feel like you're lacking in either the mindset or the right knowledge or the right tool somehow to break through this glass ceiling of trauma cycles that run in your body, because trauma does live in our body. It's a subconscious, unconscious process. And having the right tools to really um, remove the emotional inertia that has in our lives is critical to the healing process. Or maybe you just don't know where to start microdosing safely. There seems to be more and more places that are popping up. And with that, there's more and more scams that are out there, and it feels scary. It feels unsafe. And I understand that. I totally get it. I have been there. I've been frustrated with healing culture. The focus on processing trauma or history, or working through, you're working through your challenges. It's all very thought based. It's all very, you're thinking about things, you're processing. This is a different modality. It heals you on a deeper level, deeper levels of consciousness. I knew before psychedelics, I knew that what I was searching for was out there, but it just always felt like it was just out of reach. I all this trending healing content, I would read it, and I was starting to feel super cynical, because I felt like, gosh, it sounds so easy and I'm smart. I can understand how to do this. And why is it just not going deep enough for me? And with the mushrooms, once I started learning more about the mushrooms, I was nervous to begin such a controversial protocol with questionable legality. Well, not even questionable. It's not legal, and that's a little bit scary for a lot of people. And also the journey, like learning how to trust and follow my intuition, even understanding what it was in me, reawakening that. So I remember being in that space and feeling frustrated and hopeless and just about ready to drive to Colorado to just find mushrooms there somewhere because it's legal. But I didn't have to then, and I'm glad that you don't have to now, unless you want to, of course. But there is a better way. There is a better way. As I mentioned, trauma lives in your body, and so whether you can process until the cows come home, but if you don't heal, your body's going to be stuck in trauma mode, right? And so in the next few minutes, we're going to talk about these 4 necessary breakthrough principles that are really central to the Microdosing Moms mentorship. Grizz, I'll let you start with these.
yeah, so these 4 breakthrough principles: recognition. We're going to talk about the mentorship, dedication, and consistency. We really thought these 4 pillars really were key to what we call breaking through. And so again, if you think that you're going to be able to do it alone, right? If you think that, you know, you're going to just tackle this. And I was like this as well, all growing up. And I won't get into all the stories, but my whole life, I just loved trying to do it myself. And I really wore myself out with it, but I was happy at the end. You know, even now, I taught myself how to make my own flutes out of blocks of wood. But I went through about a year of struggle until I just hired someone to help me, and then it was just so much easier. So um, let me make sure I'm on the right slide here. All right, computer was going slow. So recognition, being aware. And Amanda, you'll probably talk a little more about this because you pointed out the recognition, but recognizing, I think that's the first step, being aware of what is going on right now. So ask yourself, why are you on this call? What is going on right now that has us talking? And so we have to be aware of what's not working. And so that's part of who this is for. It's for people that believe in what we're teaching. And so we feel like you have to become aware of you know what's going on to drill deeper. And so the next question we pose is, what do you want to experience instead? We mentioned it a little earlier in the call as well. You might have typed it in. And then lastly, think about where you are now. Now think about where you want to be. Some of you type that in, the dream vision, right? Now this is the $1 million question. How much longer are you willing to wait? And what are the implications of that? What's that, what are the opportunity costs of not taking action? So recognizing is huge. And I commend you for being on this call and recognizing that you need to be on this call, right? So we're already a quarter of the way there. So mentorship, Amanda talked about this. We talked to a lot of people that are ordering mushrooms. These places are popping up everywhere. And I don't think there's any bad intentions with these places. There might be a few bad apples, but I tell this story, much like our parents, when people come to me with issues, childhood issues, how they were raised, our parents didn't know any different, right? They were just raising us how they were raised, right? And so these people that are selling these mushrooms, they don't know any different. They're selling mushrooms. I'm finding a lot of people are not being educated after they make the purchase. I have moms reaching out to me saying that the labeling is kind of misleading, and that's what they do. They'll tell you, hey, this is the quantity of mushrooms in the wet fresh form. So they tell you it's 300 grams in the fresh picked form, but what's in the actual bag is the dried form. And it's only like, 0.3 milligrams. So it's a lot of just like marketing behind this, a lot of that matrix kind of energy. And so this mentorship is another one of those breakthrough pillars where if you can recognize that a mentorship and this, what we're bringing to you, feels right in your heart, you're going to get huge results. And so that's this other point. Find someone that is getting the results that you want. If what you see in Amanda and I, and as you get more into the group, the videos that we'll be sharing, the life that we're living, if you want that, I highly recommend investing in yourself, because every time I have, even though it might have been hard, I went to a whole nother level. And I'm a huge believer in investing in yourself. Dedication. This is the third pillar, breakthrough pillar. And I am drawn to this one because I'm such a big believer on finding your purpose, because that helps find clarity just in general in life. Every time that I was confused, my head was cloudy, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do in life really. I was working the 9 to 5, going through the just that cycle, the same pattern. I wasn't very happy. And every time that I started thinking about my purpose, right? We don't have to know exactly what our purpose is, but if we can start following breadcrumbs, create a general idea, what is your purpose? And that's my question for you. And I found that every time that was cloudy for me, I I was not in full joy. I just wasn't very happy. And then I didn't have clarity on where I wanted to go. And so, this dedication pillar, it this program, it's the structure and that dedication that you're going to be putting into this is going to be a channel for huge energetic growth. And so honoring your journey and really allowing it to breathe is something that Amanda and I are going to help you with. So lastly, consistency. This is a big one, and this is a huge part of the program. I found that much like Amanda and I, this partnership, this accountability partnership, that when you have this support group, you get results so much quicker. And so it's so much easier to be consistent, follow through with commitments, right? If nobody's on the other end of that commitment, it's easy just to say, oh, I'm not going to do that, right? But having accountability partners through this program allows you to do the work that works. And so, yeah, I don't know if people are tired of hearing me, Amanda, but maybe I'll take a break and let you share a little bit about this slide.
Sure, Grizz. No, I don't think anyone would get tired of listening to you. But no, I'll take this one. Yeah. So this mentorship has been designed. It has been created specifically to provide safe access to the medicine, and with that medicine to have access to oh, I see a question. The second principle was hold on, let me make sure we had from the top, we had recognition, mentorship, dedication, and consistency. Those were the 4 pillars for breakthrough. Yeah, so this program is really put together to support your energetic growth, to support your healing in a sustainable container, right? To create the conditions for your inside out healing. And it's all within this very private, very safe off Facebook community that will foster connection. It will help you create confidence. And like Grizz was saying, accountability. It will help create accountability for sure. A few of the things that I've created for this program is a daily guided journal. So all of the decade plus work and research and study that I've done around healing, growing consciousness, productivity, procrastination, even motivation, all of that I have whittled down into about 15-minute daily prompts to support you in doing bite-sized amounts of work that are strategically scaffolded to help you get to a place of growth and healing by the end of this program. Every day, you'll have something to do, and it will be meaningful work, meaningful introspective work that leads you to your own genius. I'm not telling you, Grizz isn't telling you where you need to go or what you need to do. You are the expert on that. And this curriculum has been designed to lead you to that space of clarity for yourself. With that, I've included a life planner. So I've created this quarterly planner, and it includes, calendars and a daily planner, and it's specific to the microdosing journey. So this is a place where you'll be able to map out your dose, map out when you're taking it, track how you're feeling, all of the details around your experience, so you can look back and see a holistic trajectory of how you are doing. So when you make changes, right, if you talk to Grizz and I, and you want to make changes in protocol, or you have questions, we can look at this together and see how you're doing. You can get that personalized support based on your tracker, your tracking system, the things that you're putting down. And this life planner, again, was born out of this decade plus of work. What's going to help people not feel overwhelmed with all of these changes, and support you in creating an infrastructure for healing. And with that, there's a guide around how to plan, how to do this particular planning system to help you not feel overwhelmed, to help you manage all of the million things you have going on in your life, and track them, manage them, organize everything consistently. And in that, there's access to hundreds of research-based integration activities that we're going to help you work into your life in ways that make sense to you. Also, different activities have different energetic principles. And so being able to expertly combine different energetic continuum principles in your activities will accelerate your healing. So being able to have support around what to put together and how to fit it in is also what this program is about. I like to tell people this is tip to tail. So it's all included, right? From the sacred medicine to the daily work to even the organizational system to help you be successful. We want you to get to everything that you want to get to where you're going. And as far as where this community is, it is private. It's off Facebook. So it's data sensitive. This is not a social media group. It's interactive. It's highly interactive. And it's, as I said, privacy sensitive. We want to make sure that everybody's safe on all levels in this community. And as far as when, it starts right around the corner, May 15th. And starting May 15th, we'll have weekly interactive live engagement. We'll have monthly.
Woo-hoo.
I know. Yeah, live, just interaction between community members, between Grizz and I and you. There will be monthly challenges to help you grow and heal. And also, as you just saw a sneak peek, the first sneak peek into the 3-month planner with the workbook that will help you meet your healing goals. And we talked a lot about this, so I'm just going to briefly cover this. We're invested in this because safety is paramount to us. It's hugely important. Having a sacred quality to this program is also critical, right? I have a friend that grows, and he was saying how mushrooms in his house are like an energetic filter. So when you think about that, that makes sense, because when I've been in different ceremonies, even with the same strain, the environment in which they were grown has made a difference in how that ceremony, what the experience was in that ceremony. Same strain, different growing environments. So you want to consider, what is the environment that your medicine is being grown in. It's a really critical to your healing journey. Mushrooms are very different from any other medium in that way. Grizz, do you want to speak to that a little bit? You're more of an expert on that than I am.
Yeah, and so that's a huge part of, we haven't specifically had a slide that says what makes us different, what makes this different, but through this whole presentation, we're the undertone is what makes us different. And so I grow all my own mushrooms. My daughter helps me. We put sacred songs into these mushrooms. We sing to them. We pray with them. And kind of like Amanda highlighted earlier, just the attention to detail that we're giving you in this mentorship. And as the months progress, depending as we get to the end, which mentorship you choose, which level, we're your trusted advisors. And so we're looking back on your history and figuring out, tailoring the dose if you need to go up or down. And so this is you know very interactive and very tailored program that is just for you. And that's why we say it's just for you, just for you, mom, just for you. Very, very tailored. And so not only that, just the sacredness and the prayers and the work that we're doing and then the space that we're in is being transferred into the medicine that we're providing. So the vision, so yes, the vision is at its core coming together as a community, coming home, coming to love. Those are the three things that I think of: love, home, community. And it's with you, moms. It's growing together spiritually, physically, mentally, traveling. We have plans to go to Brazil. You don't have to go to Brazil. We have plans to go to California. There's events in New York. There's events in Kentucky to meet up face to face. And so building things together. I found that in this space, we're attracting people that are opening doors. People are wanting to buy land as a community. People are wanting to travel to South America and find land and start a retreat healing center, a bunch of fresh food gardens. We have a farmer friend that helps us here on our farm, and he develops farm systems all in this region. And so he's going to be helping us with that project down in South America. And so there's so many opportunities to really love more, to heal, to travel. And that's the vision, and we want to bring you with us. And so that is another difference. If you don't already feel it, we genuinely care. This isn't just a transaction. This isn't just energy flowing, money flowing between you and us. It's so much deeper than that. It's the money is nothing. It's about growing as a community, as a family, and coming back home. So the value of what we are presenting you with, we have two options. The first mentorship, you can see there. I guess I can kind of go through this. We also have this deck we can send out to everyone, so you'll have it as well. But we have the weekly calls with the first mentorship, daily mindset rituals that have been huge for me, personal programs that I've invested over $40,000 collectively in programs that I'm combining into the best of the best into this. The same with Amanda. So these journal prompts, we're going to be having one-on-ones with you, as we mentioned, accountability calls, and then the sacred blend that we personally are growing. It's not some company that's shipping it and mass producing this. So this is very, very sacred process to us. And before I get into the mentorship too, part of, we were waiting to the end to talk about the medicine, this process of how do I get this legally? So we were encouraged by the tribes that we work with in the Amazon rainforest to start a church. And I've always, we were raised not really religious, but my parents were Catholic, went to church on Easter and Christmas, but that was about it. But I was always separating religion and the spiritual space, especially in ceremony. And I was always pushing religion away. But it's funny because it's come back around, and the tribes said in order for us to be fully protected, and in order for them to be protected when they come to Kentucky for the ayahuasca ceremonies, we needed to have a church, and we needed to do this the right way. It needed to be legit. There needed to be structure. There needed to be rules. And so that's what we've put in place for you here. So part of this mentorship, there will be an application process and an intake process where we educate you on the church and our church and our principles. And once you join the church and you are aligned with those values, you are safe. I won't get into how the legalities and everything works, but Kentucky is very protected as far as religious freedoms. And across the United States, things are starting to come out, laws are changing where they are protecting religious freedoms. They do not want to play in that space. And I'm talking about the government. And so by doing it the right way, you are protected. So we're not saying, hey, you can just go out and take mushrooms on the sidewalk, go driving on a car, and a cop pulls you over and you show them a card and say, I'm protected. No, so there's rules to this in order to be protected. And so we're sharing how to do it the right way. So level 2, everything in level 1, we're going to add 6 additional calls. Now, these are higher level calls than the mentorship level 1 calls. So we'll be going a little deeper. We'll have, like we mentioned, it'll be more of a personalized microdose protocol. Amanda has this amazing ELI assessment that she is going to be giving you. And it's going to be beautiful here right in May, right around the corner. We have a special bonus. That's this last part, this one in-person ceremony that we've put in this mentorship level 2. And this is huge. We are including a full plant medicine ceremony face-to-face in this mentorship level 2. That right there would cover this next slide when we get into cost. But we're also adding 30 days to this mentorship. We think we need to go a little deeper, so we're adding 30 days. So this is the value that we're giving. And on the next slide, we'll talk about the price. So for mentorship level 1, the value that we have on this at a very minimum is $5,555 for the mentorship level 2 3-month container. The value is $10,555. So the price, $555, only $555 for 2 months. That includes the medicine. That includes this whole full mentorship. And then for level 2, $2,222. Only 2,222. And that includes a full plant medicine ceremony with either me or the chief from the rainforest. And I mentioned he's going to be here in May. And that was one of our surprise bonuses that we were saving for you, that if you jump in toward to the mentorship, this level 2 mentorship, we are going to allow you the option to join Amanda and I, yay, May, win the Huni Queen tribe. So the chief Chanamashah and his brother are coming up here to Kentucky in May. 3 nights. We are going to be working with ayahuasca. And that right there alone, you know, is worth the price of level 2 mentorship. So if that's something that excites you, you don't have to come in May. We'll have other opportunities for you to join us. But we were so excited how this just lined up with the program, the mentorship. So you jump in today. We are going to share how to get you here to Kentucky with Amanda and I, the Huni Queen tribe, the ayahuasca medicine, and all the wonderful things that come with that ceremony. So couldn't be more excited. Did you want to talk a little about the other bonus, Amanda?
The cacao ceremony?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
which
exciting.
well, yeah, you're kind of leading that one.
So the cacao ceremony will be sending out cacao to everyone that joins either today or tomorrow. So this will give everyone a chance to that's watching this replay. Um, so this is a cacao ceremony. It'll be virtual. We will be shipping you the cacao, and we will be doing a virtual online cacao ceremony. We'll be sharing with you the history of the medicine. I will be singing. We'll be singing songs together. Maybe some of you will be sharing some songs. Amanda, I'm sure, will be sharing some of her beautiful music. And so it's going to be an amazing ceremony. And this is just a one-time offer. This is just for the people here on this webinar. Um, I'm actually not even sure if we're going to open this up to the people on the replay. So that's something Amanda and I will talk about. If we get a lot of grief, maybe we'll include it for the people on the replay. But we really wanted to reward everyone for staying on for this webinar. So as it stands, this is just for you, the people that are on this webinar. We're going to include this beautiful cacao ceremony if you decide to join either mentorship. So I think we are finally here. We are getting close to the very end. So
we are. I just want to talk for a minute about the importance of intention. Intention is what is the unconscious driver of everything in our lives. And as I mentioned before, with the mushrooms being like an energetic filter for the environment in which they're grown, they're really unlike other healing medicines. This isn't something that you go and pick up at a pharmacy and expect it to have the same results in your life as something that's been carefully and lovingly grown in an environment that has been really infused with healing energy specifically for you. I cannot understate the importance of sacred growing conditions in my own healing. I've seen a difference from when I've ordered from an online retailer versus somebody that I know and love in my community versus working with Grizz. They're all different. They're all they all, even at such small, tiny, sub-perceptual levels, that is a microdose, it makes a difference in the tone and the nature of the healing. And you really shouldn't take medicine from just anybody. You really want to do your research. And you really want to know how, what are their intentions? How are they growing their medicine, right? Is it just a transaction to them, or are they invested in making the world a better place? Are they invested in healing whole communities and families? It really does make a difference. Yeah. So at this point, you have a choice. We're at the point where, you can absolutely continue trying to figure this out on your own. And, yes. And Grizz and I have both done that. And we know it can be done because we're here. However, it's like living life in hard mode. And, hard mode doesn't necessarily win you any awards at the end of it. It just costs you time and it costs you energy and potentially time in relationship with other people. So, as far as not making the same mistakes that we have, we hope that you'll really see this as an amazing mode of support for you and your journey and your families and their journeys and future generations, and help you really make that choice.
Hey man, if you could briefly just touch, I realized when I was speaking that my slide was off from what you were showing when I was talking about the value and the price. And it just came to me, um, because I think a lot of times, a lot of us, I'm guilty of it. We really undervalue ourselves and like undervalue our work. And you've really pointed out to me, like, oh my gosh, this is a huge value. And after we've started talking, I'm like, I really didn't like emphasize that, even though I know that, but I really, I felt that in our previous conversations. And so I thought that, you speaking a little bit about that, would come through better than how I did it.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Gosh, I could talk about this till I'm blue in the face. We spent a lot of time trying to figure out kind of the energetic exchange around what makes sense for this mentorship, with the value, and especially with the mentorship too, or the mastermind. This is small group instruction and dialogue, and with the really getting into your energy and exploring all of that, to get all of that plus an in-person ceremony for less than $3,000 is unheard of. That doesn't exist right now. So we are very excited to be able to make, make an accessible option for people to get to these really high level, high quality healing modalities. And with the mentorship one, the programs that I'm that I'm creating the curriculum out of, these are 4, 5, $6,000 coaching programs that I'm really putting into this. And getting that level of personalized support and accountability just it is priceless in a way. Really, 555 is a steal for what you are getting. And so, we wanted to price it in a way that made sense for people to really, that balance between putting an investment in, and the benefits of really putting your energy into this in that way, in that energetic way, and then seeing what comes back for you. So all of the support that is just embedded into this within the container of love and visioning, and just holding that space for you to unfold in your own healing journey in such a guided way. I mean, it's really exciting. I cannot tell you how excited I was for this call, coming into this and being able to express all of the stuff that we're just putting into this for you, to get everything that you can out of it, and really start moving toward that life of happiness and contentment and fulfillment, and realizing those big dreams that you had for yourself. Yeah, and yeah, so first choice, and then with the second choice, you have, to invest with us, to come with us. We're building this beautiful thing and we want you to come with us. Investing either $555 or 2222 into seeing what's possible for you. And yeah, it really just comes down to if you're willing to invest the time and energy into creating this life that you want.
Mhm. Who's excited? Who's ready to create? And also, this is all the programs I've ever offered. It's a money back guarantee. You have nothing to, there's no risk. I'm that confident that you're going to get, like, I have full trust in the medicine, full trust. So if you do this program how we have it laid out, and you are not getting the results that you want by the end of the course or halfway through the course, we'll give you your money back. So that's how confident we are that this works.
That is amazing. That is amazing. I love it. Yeah. Well, we can open this up to questions. What questions do you have? If you're here live, feel free to ask. Otherwise, if you're watching on replay, put a comment below. We definitely want to know what questions are coming up for you, what else you might need clarity around, what would be helpful, and just being able to spend this time together and make sure that you really have a clear view on what is possible for you with this program.
And so with that too, we will be opening up our registration page for the mentorship. So Amanda will be posting a link, and so you can read more about the mentorship, how to pay, and if you need to talk to either of us, just reach out to us. I think Amanda has some time on her schedule coming up. I do too, but we'll just have to pick a time, and we can sit down if you have more intimate questions that you don't want to share publicly. Um, Feel free to reach out to us, and we'd be happy to do a 15-minute call just to see if this is right for you. It might not be right. So let's do the call. You don't know how many people I've turned away from ceremony. So we want to make sure this is right for you, but we really want to also make sure it's right for us in the container. And with that, like I said, I've said no to people because the energy would have thrown everything off in the container. And so we're picky about who we work with because we know the people that we do work with are going to get results, right? We're not just taking anybody and everybody, right? This is for a very specific type of mom that we want to build this dream with. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it's landing, Grizz, for sure. I've all of that 100%. Yeah, we my calendar is open and available to you. I love talking to people. I've been having so many amazing conversations with people through Facebook. And absolutely, if you want to jump on a call or you want to get on a Zoom or even just have a chat via text, we are here for you.